If you have fatty liver and after 50, you feel heaviness when you eat, abdominal bloating, or that unexplained afternoon fatigue, pay close attention, because today I'm going to show you a very simple habit you can start as early as tomorrow that may help you feel much better in just a few days. Do you drink coffee every morning? Then you don't need to change your routine, just add one small detail. An ingredient you probably already have in your kitchen and that, when used correctly, can make a noticeable difference in how you feel after eating. That heavy stomach feeling, the tight belly even when you haven't overeaten, that energy crash between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. It's not just age. In many cases, it's your liver asking for support. What's interesting is that this support can go straight into your cup of coffee. I want you to pay close attention to this simple, practical routine. Tomorrow morning, when you prepare your coffee as usual, do the following. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, the thin, soft variety, ground. Not just any cinnamon. This detail matters. Add it directly to your coffee and drink it as you normally would. That's it. That's the only change. Now, what really matters is not just what you do, but what happens inside your body as you maintain this habit for 7 consecutive days. But before I explain that, let me warn you about some very common mistakes I see every day in my practice. The first mistake is using the wrong type of cinnamon. There are 2 main types, and most people don't know the difference. Cassia cinnamon, the most common one found in supermarkets, darker and harder, contains a compound called coumarin. When consumed daily in certain amounts, it can actually put extra strain on the liver instead of helping it. On the other hand, Ceylon cinnamon, which is lighter, softer, and made of thin layers, is the right choice for regular use. That's the one you should look for. In health stores, it's often labeled as Ceylon cinnamon or true cinnamon. If you're unsure, it's better to check before using it. This isn't about overthinking, it's about taking proper care of the organ you want to support. The second mistake is thinking that more will work better. In this case, the opposite is true. A 1/4 teaspoon per day is enough. 1/2 teaspoon would be the maximum. If you go beyond that, you might irritate your stomach and end up causing discomfort instead of benefit. The third mistake, and a very common one, is mixing it with coffee loaded with sugar or cream. Cinnamon can help, yes, but if you combine it with high amounts of sugar or saturated fats, its effect is significantly reduced. During these 7 days, try to at least cut your sugar intake in half. If you can drink it without sugar, even better. That's when you'll truly notice the difference. Let me share something I often see in consultation. Not long ago, a patient around my age, in his 50s, came in concerned about that same heavy feeling after meals and constant afternoon fatigue. He hadn't made major changes in his life, but his diet was full of sugars and refined carbs. We started with small adjustments, and one of them was this morning habit. Within a few days, he told me something I hear quite often. "Doctor, I feel lighter, like my body is working better." It's not magic, it's giving your body what it actually needs. If you know someone who constantly complains about heavy digestion, bloating, or fatigue after eating, share this video with them. Sometimes, one small step can make a big difference. Now, to understand why this works, imagine your liver as a filter. Everything you consume passes through it: food, medications, drinks, even stress. When that filter is clean and functioning well, everything flows smoothly. But when it becomes overloaded, when it receives more than it can handle, the system slows down and your body starts sending signals. Fatty liver isn't just something that happens to people who drink alcohol. In many cases, it develops after years of consuming too much sugar, refined flours, and processed foods. Over time, the liver accumulates fat, becomes inflamed, and starts working at its limit. And when that happens, your body shows it: heaviness, bloating, fatigue, clear warning signs. This is where cinnamon plays an important role. Its first action is helping reduce inflammation, and that's where the change begins. I want you to understand something important. Cinnamon doesn't work by chance. The compound responsible for its characteristic aroma and flavor, called cinnamaldehyde, has a well-documented anti-inflammatory effect on liver tissue. This isn't just a popular belief, it's a real effect in your body. And beyond that, it has another key function. It helps regulate how sugar reaches the liver after each meal. When that sugar load becomes more stable, the liver doesn't have to work as hard, inflammation decreases, and little by little it begins to recover its balance. Now, there's something many people don't realize: coffee itself already has a positive effect. When consumed in moderation and without sugar, it has been associated with lower fat accumulation in the liver. In other words, you were already doing something right, now you're simply enhancing it. Think about this. That heavy feeling after lunch, as if everything just sits there, isn't normal. It's a signal. When the liver is overloaded, digestion slows down. Bile, the substance produced by the liver to help digest fats, is released in smaller amounts and more slowly. The result? Poorly processed fats, gas, bloating, discomfort. This is where your morning habit starts to make a difference. Cinnamon in your coffee doesn't act afterward, it works in advance. From early in the day, it's preparing your system so that when lunch comes, your liver is better equipped to respond. And this doesn't take months. Many people, by day 4 or 5, already start noticing changes. It's not that everything disappears overnight, but that heavy feeling begins to ease. It's simply not the same anymore. I remember a patient telling me, "Doctor, I thought it was normal to feel this way after eating. I had gotten used to it." When we started making small changes like this, within a few days he told me something very clear: "Now I eat and I don't feel like I lose my energy." That's the kind of change we're looking for. Now let's talk about afternoon fatigue. Because the liver doesn't just filter, it also plays a key role in your energy levels throughout the day. It stores and distributes fuel between meals. But when it's overloaded, that function is disrupted. And that's when you feel that drop in energy between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, which many people blame on heat, food, or simply age. In reality, it's often a liver that's not maintaining stable energy. By reducing inflammation with cinnamon and improving how sugar is handled, that function begins to recover. Gradually, you'll notice your energy lasting longer, without that sharp crash. And there's another concern many people have: stubborn upper belly fat. Some people eat well, avoid excesses, even exercise, and still have that firm, tight feeling in the upper abdomen. That area, above the navel, when it feels tense, is often not just fat, it can be liver inflammation. An inflamed liver takes up more space than it should and pushes outward. That's why it looks that way. And it's important to understand something here. This kind of inflammation doesn't go away with sit-ups or short-term diets. It improves by reducing the daily burden on the liver and supporting its recovery with consistent habits. That's why this small morning change may seem simple, but when done every day, it starts creating real results. Now let's make it clear and practical. The protocol is simple and designed so you can follow it without complications. One change in the morning and consistency throughout the week. Every single day, without exception, you'll drink your coffee with a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Ideally without sugar, or with the smallest possible amount. Do this for 7 consecutive days. That's your starting point. During the first 3 days, the base is very simple: just your coffee with cinnamon every morning. You don't need to do anything else. At this stage, the key is observation. Notice how you feel after lunch, whether the heaviness stays the same, decreases slightly, or if that afternoon fatigue feels different. Don't expect dramatic changes yet. That's completely normal. Your liver is just beginning to receive support. On days 4 and 5, we add an important reinforcement. Before your coffee, on an empty stomach, drink a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon. This step prepares your system. Lemon stimulates bile production, which is essential for digesting fats. So when you then drink your coffee with cinnamon, your body is already more active. This combination, lemon, cinnamon, and coffee, creates a much stronger effect. I remember a patient who told me he felt heavy digestion every single day, especially after lunch. When he added this step of lemon water before his coffee, he said something simple but powerful: "Doctor, I feel like my body starts better in the morning." Those kinds of sensations are signs that things are moving in the right direction. Then we move to days 6 and 7, where we add support through food. At lunch on these 2 days, include half a cup of cooked beets. You don't need special recipes. Just add them to your usual meal. Beets contain a compound called betaine, which helps protect the liver and supports the handling of stored fat. And there's another detail many people overlook. Add a little olive oil, but always raw, never for cooking. This small step stimulates the gallbladder and helps reduce liver inflammation. Simple adjustments, but consistent. Now, after completing the 7 days, there's something very important you need to understand. This isn't something you do for 1 week and stop. Coffee with cinnamon is not a short-term experiment, it's a habit you can maintain over time. A 1/4 teaspoon every morning, no complications, no extra cost, but with a cumulative effect week after week. However, I also need to be very clear with you. This protocol is a support tool, not a replacement for medical treatment. If you've been diagnosed with fatty liver, if your liver enzymes are elevated, you need to stay under medical supervision. Any changes you make should be discussed. And if you ever feel real pain on the right side of your abdomen, just below your ribs, don't ignore it. Heaviness is not the same as pain. In that case, seek medical evaluation. For everything else, this is one of the smallest changes you can make, but also one of the most consistent in its benefits when maintained. And I want to leave you with one final point that can make a big difference. The biggest enemy of your liver is often not fat, it's excess sugar, especially fructose from processed drinks, boxed juices, and sodas. That type of sugar goes straight to the liver and is quickly converted into fat. If during these 7 days you simply eliminate those drinks and stick to your coffee with cinnamon in the morning, the change in how you feel may surprise you. Start tomorrow. Your coffee, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and that small step repeated every day. And if this content is helping you understand your body better, I invite you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who might need it. Sometimes, the right information at the right time can truly change someone's life. I also want to invite you to take a moment, even briefly, to thank God for your life, for your body, and for the opportunity to learn how to take better care of it each day. That simple act can also transform the way you approach your health. Here on Dr. Gabriel Mena's channel, we're truly happy to support you in improving your habits and your well-being. Every day we share practical content designed for you, with tools you can apply in your daily life. Tomorrow there will be a new video, and I'd love for you to be there, because your health matters, and here you'll always find clear, useful guidance to help you feel better.